The most valuable things on this earth are not found in clean, obvious places. Diamonds, some of the rarest and most beautiful stones in existence, are not discovered sitting on a shelf. They are pulled from deep in the earth, covered in dirt, rough to the touch, unrecognizable to anyone who doesn't know what they're looking at. And that is exactly where most people leave their own potential, in the dirt. Not because they don't have it, but because they haven't yet learned to see themselves for what they actually are. Here is something worth sitting with. A diamond in the ground has no awareness of its own worth. It doesn't struggle, it doesn't fear, it simply waits for the hand willing to reach for it. But a human being is different. You are not unconscious of your potential. Deep down, beneath the noise, beneath the distractions, beneath the carefully constructed comfort of ordinary life, most people carry a quiet, persistent feeling that there is something in them worth more than their circumstances suggest. They feel it, and yet they leave it alone. Not from ignorance, but from something far more precise than that: fear. But not the kind of fear most people talk about. Not the fear of failing. That fear, at least, is honest. It has a name, a shape, a clear enemy. The fear I am describing is stranger than that. The silent fear. It is the fear of the uncertain ceiling. The fear of not knowing what you are actually capable of and being too afraid to find out. Because failure gives you an answer. But potential? Potential is an open question that never closes until you pursue it. And human beings, at their most honest, will almost always choose a bad answer over no answer at all. We will choose the certainty of mediocrity over the uncertainty of greatness. The dirt is known, the diamond is not. The ancient Greeks carved two words into the entrance of the temple at Delphi. Before you consulted the oracle about your future, before any answer was given, you were stopped by an instruction. Gnothi sioton, know thyself. Most people walked past it, because self-knowledge is not a comfortable destination. It is a confrontation. The psychologist Carl Jung called what we refuse to confront in ourselves the shadow. Not just our weaknesses, but our unlived potential, our suppressed ambitions, the possibilities we abandoned before we gave them a real chance. Jung's most unsettling observation was this: the things we refuse to face do not disappear. They go underground, and they quietly shape everything we do from below the surface. The dirt in diamond metaphor is not just external circumstance, it is accumulated weight. Every time you looked at your own potential and looked away, every time you chose comfort over confrontation, every time you told yourself a story about why now is not the right time. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who was born a slave, literally owned by another human being, understood this completely. He argued that no external circumstance could touch the inner life of a person who had chosen, deliberately, to develop themselves. The dirt could not define him because he had decided what he was. Here is where I want to challenge something you may believe. You might think that staying unpolished, staying in the dirt, is the easy choice, the comfortable one. It is not. Comfort is not the same as ease. Staying in the dirt requires constant psychological maintenance. You have to keep telling yourself a story about why you haven't moved. You have to manage the quiet guilt of unlived potential. You have to watch others get cut and polished like diamonds and pretend it doesn't say something to you. The dirt is familiar, but it is heavy. And here is what the process of becoming actually asks of you, because the diamond metaphor holds all the way through. Diamonds are not polished by gentleness. They are cut by something harder than themselves. The facets that make them breathtaking are created by pressure, by precision, by something sharp being drawn across their surface repeatedly. The beauty is inseparable from the process. What you are is not separate from what formed you. The difficult seasons, the confusion, the seasons of being unseen, those were not interruptions to your story. They were conditions. The same way the Earth's pressure does not destroy the diamond, it creates it. So what does the cut actually look like in a human life? It begins with one thing, and it is the hardest thing. It begins with self-confrontation. No performance, no audience, just you, sitting with yourself, honestly, and asking, what am I avoiding? What in me am I pretending isn't there? Not to condemn yourself, that is not what this is. The diamond does not look at the dirt around it with shame. The dirt was simply where it formed. Self-confrontation done rightly is not self-destruction. It is recognition. And from recognition comes something that no one can give you from the outside. Radical self-permission. The quiet, private decision that you are allowed to become what you actually are. Not what your circumstances suggest, not what your fears confirm, not what other people's comfort with your mediocrity requires of you. What you actually are. The diamond was always in the earth. It did not appear the moment someone reached for it. It had been forming, slowly, silently, under pressure, long before it was ever seen. You have been forming too. The question is not whether there is something in you worth cutting and polishing, because there is. The question that only you can answer, quietly, honestly, in whatever private moment this finds you in, is whether you are ready to stop mistaking the weight of the dirt for the shape of your life. The ancient ones already walked this path. The question is not whether it leads somewhere worth going. It is whether you are willing to begin. This is The Examined Life. My name is Charles, and I'll see you in the next one.